Hey, I'm Mark Romanak, and I hope you're in the mood for a test ride because we're going to take this 16 side console Fusion by Starweld and take it out for its paces. The Fusion 16 side console is 16 foot 6 inches long down the center line, has an 82-inch beam, and the maximum horsepower is 90 horses. We're going to start a discussion right here at the side console, and when you sit down, the first thing that's going to jump out at you is it's a pretty fancy console for a smaller boat like this. In fact, it's very fancy. When I'm looking straight forward, the first thing that I see is this beautiful flush mount 5-inch graph that's sitting in here. You don't see flush mount graphs on a lot of boats of this caliber, so that's a really nice feature. The other thing that's going to jump out quickly is tilt steering wheel, and that's a nice deal, especially if you're a big guy like me. It makes it easy to get inside this console, and then of course I can adjust the steering wheel for my own driving satisfaction. So adjustable steering wheel is the other thing that's really cool in this. All of your gauges are right up front where you can see them very easily. There's an AM/FM radio that comes standard with this boat. There's also an accessory port if you want to charge your cell phone, and there's another accessory port if you want to have custom tunes for the MP3 port as well. All of the toggle switches are lit, so when you engage one, you can see that it's lit, so you can understand that it's lit. That way, if you forget and leave something like a bilge pump on, you know that you've done that. All in all, this console is really well set up for fishing. You know, the measure of a good boat is how much rod storage it has. And in the Fusion 16 side console, there's a ton of rod storage. I'm sitting here on the starboard deck, and underneath me is a lockable rod locker. On the port side of the boat, there's integrated rod storage for 3 more rods, and running right up the center of the front deck is another lockable rod storage as well. So you've got ample rod storage for any type of fishing you might encounter. The Fusion 16 side console's got a very nice elevated rear casting deck. It's all vinyl on the top here, so it's going to be a nice surface that you can keep clean easily while you're fishing. It also houses some important items, like for example, there's a live well here that's aerated, it's divided, and it also has a bait tank as well in it. And then there's a dry storage where you're going to store your cranking battery, and there's another dry storage plenty big for fishing tackle. Well, I've just jumped up here on the bow casting deck, and the vinyl on the floor is really an extension of the vinyl that we saw at the back of the boat on the rear casting deck. So the entire boat is all covered in high-grade vinyl, and from a fishing boat perspective, it doesn't get any better than that. It's easy to maintain and easy to clean. Of course, there's plenty of room up here for fishing. We already talked about the rod locker up here, but there are 2 dry storage compartments up here that are huge. They're going to be plenty big for storing all of your fishing tackle. Underneath my feet is going to be storage for the deep cycle battery for your electric motor. And speaking of your electric motor, this boat comes standard with an electric motor, and it has a quick disconnect on it. The reason I like these quick disconnects is because if you need the electric motor, you simply install it, tighten it up, and use it. If you don't want it, loosening up just one screw, you can take the entire electric motor off and stow it. So it really makes it nice. If you don't want the electric motor, if it's in the way for something, you can take it off easily. If you need it, you can put it back on. The Starweld Fusion 16 side console is an all-welded hull. It's also an inexpensive boat, a great boat for the beginning fisherman. If you want to learn more about this model, I suggest going to Starcraft, starweld.com and check one out online, or better yet, find a dealer with one in stock and take this one for your own test ride.